I've just bought this flat and I've got this insane idea to do the refurb not within 4 weeks, but within 48 hours. So we're going to document the whole 48 hours over 4 days. My guys will have a start and stop timer that will track their progress. And to give us the best shot, we've tried to get all of the materials here before they start. And we're going to document the whole thing over so you can get a taste of what we've done in this project. Not within 4 weeks, but within 48 hours. So 48 hours is a big task for these guys, but they're up for the challenge. And to give them the absolute best start, we've utilised these garages that we got with the purchase to store all of the materials. That's all of the kitchens, all of the doors, all of the skirting boards, all of the plasterboards, all of the wood, and the bathroom, and 2 pallets of tiles, so they're ready to rock and roll. So let's break down how we're going to achieve this refurb within 48 hours, because the original time was 4 weeks, and even at that time frame, it was really, really tight. So we've made some tweaks, we've changed some ideas to give the guys the best head start. So originally, this was going to become our 3rd bedroom, but we've decided to leave the kitchen in because it's going to cost us too much in time moving the services, moving the waste into the living, which was going to be the living cum kitchen. So we've gone for a like for like, rip out, put back in, all brand new, and I think we'll have a really good workable space. So where we were going to put the kitchen is now going to be our 3rd bedroom, and we're going to go back to basics, back to the old school way of doing it, 2014, and sticking a stud wall up so it lands dead centre on this window frame. That will give us a 3rd bedroom in about half the time. We're really lucky because this bathroom is staying exactly where it is. That means we're just going to rip the old suite out and all the horrible old tiles and replace it with our trademark of black marble, porcelain, and a good old-fashioned Victorian plum suite. So the 2 other things in this project is fire doors, because it's going to be a small HMO. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fire doors going on, and plastering. Now, the problem with plastering is that it needs to be done, but it takes a while to dry, even in this weather and this time of year. So how we're going to break down the 48 hours is we're going to split it over 4 days. That's 4 12-hour days. The guys are up for it, but we're going to give them a break after day 2 to recover from their hard work, but to allow the plaster to dry. Otherwise, we would have had to board and joint and sand and paint, and I hate that look. It has to be plastered, it has to be right. So this is how it's going to break down. The guys, as soon as we set the timer, are going to get in and get everything ripped out. That's all the kitchen, all of the tiles, all of the bathrooms, all of this old horrible flooring, and the doors. Then the time is against us to get everything plastered that we can. But before we do that, we've got to build the stud work. So one of the guys is going to get on the stud work timber, while the other guys start the plastering. And then hopefully by the time they've plastered 1 room or 1 ceiling, they'll be able to jump on to the stud wall. It's crucial we get the plastering done as soon as possible to allow us the best chance to get it fully dried, ready for painting. After that, we're going to start getting those doors on. In fact, the carpenter can probably get straight onto that. Fire doors take a bit of time. A good carpenter can do 2 or 3 heavy duty fire doors a day, but all the architrave, all the skirting also needs replacing. As soon as we can, we're going to get the sanitary ware and the kitchen in, and then it's just a matter of tiling. So when you break it down, as long as the team are up for the challenge and don't face any hurdles or any unexpected issues, we should be on for a great project within that time frame. Now, we've definitely given the guys the best chance on this project because there's not a lot that needs to be done. It's not like we've got to gun up the floors and lay loads of drainage and put like 5 ensuite bathrooms in. It's a like-for-like bathroom, a like-for-like kitchen, 1 stud wall, 5 or 6 fire doors, a bit of plastering, and a lick of paint. So before anyone starts saying that we've cheated, we had to do some things to give the guys the best chance. And that was getting rid of this old boiler. So there's a massive hole in where the kitchen's going to be. We had to get the plumber in to allow the guys to do that work, to fit the kitchen. The other thing was to give the guys the best chance. We just had to double check that all the electrics were safe because they were pretty old and tired. And while the electrician is here, he's just popped all of the old sockets off, ready to be replaced, to check the wires and to allow the guys to do the work. Now, one of the biggest things that we need in this property was the electric supply, which was off. That was one of the very few tasks that I was given. and I managed to get it ready to go. I just forgot to top up the prepayment of the year. So I've just done that, so hopefully that won't delay the guys. So the guys are a bit delayed, so we're just double checking everything. Now, the tiles aren't here yet, but we weren't expecting them until today. But the bathroom stuff isn't here, and we were expecting that yesterday. The other thing we were expecting yesterday, which I thought was delivered, was all of the basic materials, the plasterboard, the wood, and basically the door linings, everything to get started. And I'm hoping that when we open this garage up, they're going to be inside. Yeah, there we go. It's always the last one. And there should be, and there isn't, a shitload of materials in there. But we now have no kitchen ready to go, no basic materials, no tiles, and no fire doors. Okay, so here's the timer. 48 hours is about to begin. I haven't pre-warned the guys, but they're about to get started. I thought it was 47 minutes then. Yeah, that one man stayed in the middle, so we just need just one room. No, just one yes. Yeah, right. What do you reckon, Charlie?
There's nothing coming in. There's no power going into this.
Just hold the whole thing.
I'll just press the buttons and the light went off and it was on. So as you can hear, the guys have started, the timer has been set, 48 hours is the challenge. Let's see if we can do it. We've already got some issues. Took a little while to get the power on, which was an absolute nightmare. Tiles still haven't arrived, bathrooms still haven't arrived, kitchen still haven't arrived, no materials, no fire doors. But it's all due within the next few hours, so fingers crossed, no more delays, straight onto it, get ready for part 2. Guys, quick update, end of day 1, and we actually had to finish a bit earlier because it's the hottest day of the year. The guys are absolutely shattered, and I'm absolutely more than happy to do it. So 16 hours and 46 minutes left on the clock for the first 24 hours. So remember, we're doing this whole refurb in 48 hours. Now, I did say to the guys they could spread it out over 4 days. What they've decided to do, because they've had such a good first day, is finish early today, get some rest, get back tomorrow. There's going to be even more people on site, and that day they're going to absolutely smash it out of the park. But let me show you what we've done. Hasn't really seen much change in the kitchen, apart from getting all the electrics first fixes in, but the real change is definitely in these 2 rooms. So bathroom is out. We've decided that we're going to scratch those tiles and go over them with a special adhesive. First coat on the ceiling, second ceiling, third ceiling in a day. I mean, that is something else. I am super happy. There's been an issue with the order and they didn't come with the kitchen. We've been trying to pull out all the stops to get them here today. It's just not going to happen. And now they can't deliver them till Monday. We're going to lose literally 3 days because of the delivery. So we've had to just change some things about and get the doors collected in the morning so we can give the carpenter the absolute best chance of doing what he's got to do in a single day. But what's still not here is the bathroom sanitary ware. Now, I ordered this on Friday, next day delivery from Victorian Plum. I've been using Victorian Plum for well over 10 years. And unfortunately, what lets them down on every project is the delivery. But we never pay for next day delivery, so we kind of just accept it. This was due to be delivered on Monday. Today's Wednesday, so we're like 3 days short. It's now 5 o'clock, still no sight of the delivery. So, without that getting here by the very latest tomorrow, it's gonna delay us. Right, start of day 2, lots more people on. Stud wall should be up. How long do you reckon it's gonna take, Liam, to put that stud wall up? About an hour? Okay, so we're back at 48-hour challenge. It's about midday of the second day, so I reckon we've got about 12, 13 hours left of the first 24 hours. A bit of an update, we still don't have any doors, so they're there ready to be collected, they can't be delivered, so we're just trying to get someone to collect them. And the bathroom stuff is still not here, almost a whole week after I ordered it. It's due for delivery before midday. They've got 3 minutes, I can't see it happening, but they've said to me it's on the wagon, it's on its way, so fingers crossed. Start So, and I'll be angled down onto that window there, so get the feel of full two separate rooms. So, just came for the midday update on the second day. Obviously, looking really good. Really happy with the guys and how much they've done and how hard they're working. Great to see that the tiling's already started. I've not used these tiles before, so really impressed with the finish. And great to see the stud wall going up. So Chris is saying that this afternoon we'll get that stud work plastered, the last ceiling plastered, and hopefully patch the kitchen ready to start tiling and fitting the kitchen units tomorrow. Because of the weather, because of the heat, it's obviously slowing them down towards the end of the day, but it's helping the plaster and drying time. So where we thought we were going to have that gap after day 2 of 2 or 3 days, we're just going to keep going. Time wise, we've used 16 to 17 hours of the 48. The timer's just had to go off because the power's off, but it's okay, so I'm tracking it on my phone. I'll be back here at the end of today to see exactly where we are, but obviously still no doors, still no bathroom sanitary ware. I spoke to the bathroom suppliers. They're telling me it's the 7th drop of this afternoon, so it'll be here towards the end of the day. So, I mean, every day for the last 4 days they've been telling me it's going to be here. If it doesn't arrive today, I'm going to have to go and find it elsewhere locally, because we can't afford a delay in getting that sanitary ware in to get that bathroom finished. So we'll see how we get on tomorrow. So better late than never. 5+5, end of day 2. We're about to call it a day, thinking about the secondary option of buying it locally, and the bathroom stuff has arrived. Okay, so it's about 2 o'clock on day 3. I've just arrived. Let's see how the guys are getting on. If my timer on my phone is correct, we should be just about halfway through the 48 hours. Hello, mate. What do you reckon then, mate? We're now exactly halfway through the 48 hours. Yeah. Do you think we're going to do it?
I think so, mate, yeah.
So yeah, we ordered the bathroom and checked the measurements yesterday. The sink was just going to be too big, so we decided to get a smaller basin top from Wix, about 100ml, which was all important. And then Chris has gone to unbox it this morning. It's all smashed anyway, so we're going to get a refund for it. But yeah, bathroom's looking really good. Halfway through, or just more than halfway through now. It looks like we're going to do it. Yeah.
So I've just matched that all the way around.
Oh, so they're all level.
They're all level. That's the exact same height as all the way through.
Sweet.
And then what we'll do, if this will be done away with, we'll split the ring to come down to there and make it to there, and then we'll be away with it.
I think we're ahead of the game. It looks like we're going to do it with maybe a couple of hours to spare. Huge issue on Friday with part of the kitchen missing and some of the doors still not delivered, but we managed to get around it. So I think the only issue now is the painter has let us down, who was booked in for tomorrow to get it done. But I think Chris has got a solution, so let's go and see. Hi guys, so today is the 4th day, and you'll see by the images we are almost there. We've got about 8 hours left, because like good old British summer, one day we've got record-breaking heat and you can't work, and the next day it's raining and cold. So we've lost some hours, which has given us a really good opportunity to push for today. So the guys are going to go all the way through to the deadline, and it looks like all but the carpets we're going to be completely finished, which is an absolute right result. I mean, some massive learnings is that, you know, trying to do the electrics whilst doing the refurb has been a massive headache, and we think next time, and we will definitely do this again, we should absolutely get the electrics and all of the gas boiler plumbing work done first, so it gives the guys the best opportunity. But this was a great first one to give it a test. Great learning curve, and quite an easy one to do as the first one. So the next one will be more challenging, but we can sort of set ourselves up for more success. But two birds with one stone, because I wanted to get this project done really quickly so I could refinance it and get all of my cash out and a lump sum. And to do it in 48 hours, I think is a real bonus. I'm really happy with the kitchen. I think the kitchen looks really good. So I'll be back as they finish to see if they finish. Okay, so here we are back at our 48-hour challenge. We have just 2 hours left on the challenge. We have bled into a 5th day just because of some personal circumstances, which is absolutely fine. I don't mind that, an extra day, as long as we achieve what we set out within 48 hours. So let's go and see how far the guys are away. Good sign is all the windows are shut, so it must mean that they're nearly there. How are we doing? We've got 2 hours left. 1 hour and 47 minutes to be precise. Yeah.
Mobile tyre fitting service. Quick fit, drive away happy every time.
Okay, the kitchen's in, which is a really good result. Really happy with the finish. For effectively 1,100 quid, I think we've got a stunning kitchen. But with just under 2 hours left to go, with no tiles on the floor, no tiles on the splashback, ceiling's not painted, so that's not good stuff. Okay, the smell of the paint is still really wet. Be careful down there and get any on your t-shirt. I'd hate to ruin that lovely Dickies t-shirt. So Chris has had to jump off what he does, effectively, to help his dad with the paint who's recruited in last minute, because the painters he had lined up to do it and smash it all out have let him down. So this, apart from the kitchen, this is the last room which hasn't really got anything on apart from this wall behind me. So it looks like we're not going to do it within the 48 hours, but we're probably going to do it within 60 hours. Is that fair? Another day? Yeah.
Still good going.
Yeah. Okay guys, so we've just done the update. We're about 1 hour and 30 minutes just under away from hitting the deadline of 48 hours, and after having a look round, it's not gonna happen. We aren't gonna complete the refurb within 48 hours. I'm so gutted and disappointed, but I'm not disappointed with the guys' effort. It's been one thing after another. Loads of learnings have come from if we do this again. Things like getting the electrician and the boiler plumber in early so they can do their bit, which doesn't cause us any delays. But issues with kitchens and bathrooms and tiles, all being late, not turning up when they say they were going to turn up, have all led to a compound effect. This project isn't going to quite hit the 48 hours. And then add insult to injury for Chris. I really feel for him. He had a gang of painters lined up to come in and smash it, and he's now had to spend a day and a half helping his dad, who he's recruited in last minute, to crack on with the painting. And you can see they're doing a proper job, doing it absolutely spot on. And that's what we want. Even though we want to achieve this within 48 hours, we want it done properly. So when is it going to be finished? Well, I've just had a chat with Chris, and we think another day, another 12 hours is just about going to do it. Which, to be honest with you, 5 days, 60 hours, okay, it's not the 48 hours, but I'm still more than happy with it. And it's still much quicker than the normal 4 weeks it would have taken to do this project. So let's come back when they're finished. Let's get the exact amount of time that they've taken over the amount of days, and let's see how good it looks and how quickly we were able to do it. So just over a week ago, we set ourselves a crazy challenge, and that was to refurbish this 2-bedroom flat into a 3-bedroom within 48 hours. And that included replacing the kitchen and the bathroom. Let's see how we've done and what the issues we had, and more importantly, how much it costs and if we managed to hit the deadline. So the skip is a good sign. It's completely full, which normally indicates either something's gone wrong or the project is almost done. So the original plan was to move the kitchen into the living room and create a kitchen come live and come diner. Now, we've done that loads of times before, it's really straightforward, but we thought because we had this deadline of 48 hours, we would leave the kitchen where it is and instead split the living room in half to make the all-important third bedroom. But I think the kitchen looks absolutely stunning. Now, we went for Howden's flat packed range, which comes in a package. Now, I think this package was like 1,100 quid, which included all of the carcasses, the sink, the tap, the oven, the hob, and the extractor fan. Now, normally I don't bother with the handles. I go and buy them somewhere else myself. But in this project, we just wanted to get it in quick. And I'm really happy with the finish. For an 1,100 quid kitchen, plus the VAT, set off with some really nice marble effect tiles, I think we've got a really decent finish. But I'll be interested to know what you guys think. So you will remember that there was an old boiler on the floor here. Now, one of the learnings was that we tried to do everything within the 48-hour time frame, but getting that boiler out left a massive hole which we had to brick up, and then having to mess around with the plumbing and the new boiler just caused so many delays. And that also impacted on getting this kitchen in, because we had to get the boiler out, get the hole filled up, correct all of the pipe work so we could position the new boiler in the loft space, to then think about even plastering and fitting the kitchen, which added to the delay. So this door and this wall is all brand new, and it lands really nicely in the middle of the window to create our all-important third bedroom. Now, this is what I was talking about. Normally we would put the kitchen in here and have a nice open plan kitchen come living come diner. The space works really well for the student market and families alike, but time was not on our side, and it was easier and quicker just to whack up this stud wall, put a fire door in, land it dead in the center of the window so we got our two window spaces, and just do the associated electrics. Now, even though we don't have to, we try and do everything in line with a HMO license compliance. That means mains powered smoke, heat and carbon detectors in every single room, and 30-minute fire doors on every single bedroom and the kitchen. So one of the things that we didn't do, again, right at the start, was get the plumber in to remove the boiler and remove the rads. Now, we ended up building the stud wall on the middle of the old pipe work, so we had to come back in and fill that in at a later date. And the radiator with the pipe, as you can see, has now been moved, and we've now got a rad in that corner there, and there's also one in the other bedroom. So again, caused us a bit of delay in time frame and a little bit more in terms of money, because we had to pay the plumber to come back and redo all of the pipe work. So one of the things, as this, I suppose, the developer on this project, the guy didn't get his hands dirty, well, then one of the oversights was just the state of the walls. Now, I was like, yeah, just skim this, just skim that, whack a lick of paint on it. But what took a lot longer was the decoration. So skimming the walls is one thing, but also coming back, sanding it down, refilling, sanding it down, repainting, sanding it down, took a lot longer. And in the end, that caused us a huge amount of hours, which I hadn't allocated, to get the finish that we were after, which I think you'll agree is pretty impressive. So I suppose when you're setting yourself a challenge to do a crazy refurb in a short space of time, you will make some errors and you will have to sacrifice. And I suppose this room I thought was going to be my favourite because it looks really good, but the sacrifice is some of the detail which we'll probably have to put right later on, and that is the wrong bath was delivered. We ordered it, so the P-shaped shower was supposed to be at the other end. It turned up and it was at this end. Trying to replace it, trying to get a new one back out was just going to cause us so much delay and kill the project dead. So we decided to fit it with the screen and with the shower at the end. We always anticipated, we always wanted to, but the P-shape moves over here. And then what we've had to compromise on is a smaller sink which kind of overhangs the bath. I really don't like that look. And some people would say, oh, but it's only for students, that'll be all right, that'll be all right. And there is no issue with it. But had the bath have been over at the right side, this sink wouldn't be overhanging the bath slightly, and we would have a much better finish. So in my view, when the tenants who are moving in a few days' time move out, we'll swap this bath over. But I think you'll agree the tiles, which I went with a different supplier this time, have set the room off a treat. And it just goes back to small spaces, dark tiles, gives you a much better premium feel. So the bathroom suite I got from Victorian Plum, not Victoria, Victorian Plum, who give you a 10% discount if you're a trade. Now this suite, so the bath, the screen, the taps, the sink, the toilet, all of the waste, all of the showers, everything all included was about £550. The tiles work out at about £18 per square metre. We use the same tiles on the walls as the floor to save on waste, which then saves on cost. And we use the same tiles within the kitchen floor area as well. I think this is a massive hack when you're refurbishing a property. If you can use the same tile for both rooms, you save yourself a hell of a lot of money. So these two rooms I thought were just whack a lick of paint on, job done, but they've all had brand new radiators in with new pipe work, and the walls were really bad, and it took the painters a hell of a lot of time just to get the walls right for them to get their finish looking correct. So we've got two really good sized bedrooms, and that's the beauty of these sorts of properties when you're a little bit further away from the hotspot, the primary location. So you get a bit more value for your money when you purchase it, but you can give a bit more value when you're renting out. I'm charging the same prices that I would get closer to the university, but they're getting a bigger space. So the bit that you've all been waiting for, the most important, what were the numbers? How much did it cost? And more importantly, how much did we make and how much is it rented for? So I paid $120,000 for this property. When you add in all of the legal fees and stamp duty, I'm probably into it for closer to $127,000. Now the refurb, now I set my guys a challenge to do the whole thing within 48 hours, but what comes with that is a higher price. So we agreed a labour only price of $6,000. Now on top of the builder's labour, I needed to pay the plumber and the electrician. Now the electrician gave me a fixed price to do all of the work of $3,500, which I think is really reasonable. And the plumber to install a brand new boiler and all of the new rads was $3,300. Now we know the kitchen was 1,100 quid plus the VAT, and the bathroom was about 550 plus the VAT. Added to my tiles, as well as all new fire doors and the ironmongery, carpets throughout, all of the paint, the timber work to do the stud work, the plasterboard, the plaster and the skip, we're getting on towards $5,000 in materials. And the final cost was the interest that it cost me to do this project. Now I've already exited the bridging loan based on the new valuation, so the fixed interest was just under $2,000. So that brings me into my total cost for this project at just under $147,000. In fact, $146,800 if my maths is correct. Now that's all well and good, but how much is this property worth? Now on the revaluation, I had a guaranteed revaluation of 220 based on the works that I was going to do. And when the valuer re-inspected, he confirmed that everything had been done exactly how we said it was going to, and he confirmed the value as of today at 220. So minus all of my costs, I've increased my balance sheet based on the value of this property by just over 73,000. Not bad for a couple of weeks work. So we know that we got the value of 220 solidified, but I'm not gonna sell this property. I'm gonna hold it and rent it. So how do I materialize that gain, that equity in this property? Well, I refinance. I've got 73,000's worth of gain, but my equity is more because I had to put a deposit down on the original purchase. So when I refinance at 75% loan to value of the 220, I'll release around 160, 162,000. My debt is around 100,000. So that will give me a tax-free lump sum of just under, minus some fees, 60,000. That cash goes into my pocket, tax-free, to start and invest in the next project. I can then hold on to it, still show the equity that's held in the property on my balance sheet and rent it. And here are the rental figures. So I've already rented this property to 3 students for £1,400 per calendar month, completely unfurnished, not including any bills. So the only cost that I have to deduct off that is my mortgage and my insurance costs. Now my mortgage after the refinance on this property is just over £560, which gives me just under £900 per month net cash flow in my pocket. Now, it doesn't tick the box of a minimum of £1,000 per month, but it gives me a larger chunk of cash out than I put into the deal. So the two compensate each other. I get a good cash flow and property, but I get more money out than I put in to go in the next deal. So the key part of this project was completing it within 48 hours. Now, I gave my guys 4 or 5 days to break it up. So it wasn't a 48-hour complete 24-hour cycle where they were literally sleeping in there and eating loads of pizza. I was really fair. But the problem is we had so many delays with the electrician and with the plumbing side, as long as some delays with the materials, like bathrooms not turning up till the very last minute. It did all contribute towards an overrun. But how much did it overrun by? Now, I set the clock to start and I kept stopping it every day when the guys left. And in the end, we did it over a 6.5 day period, and in total, just over 60 hours, which, okay, we didn't do it in my 48-hour target. I get that, and you can slate me for all you like. But I think what we've achieved within a 60-hour time frame over the period of just over a week is absolutely phenomenal. And not just what we've achieved in terms of finish, not in terms of what we've achieved in terms of workload, but what we've achieved in terms of value. £73,000 increase in value in that short space of time. Cash flow, almost £1,000 a month within a week's worth of work. Where else can you achieve such results? Now, the next time we do this, the learnings, we will definitely get the electrician and the plumber in first to get all of their work done and dusted. And we'll then set the timer for the guys. Chris, my guy who did this, has said to me, if that work had been done before he'd come in, he thinks he could have done it within a 48-hour period without stopping. That's two 24-hour days blocked together, not leaving the site and getting it done. So that's the next challenge. He's set the scene. I now need to find the property and we need to make it happen. But overall, great result, and I think you'll all agree, a massive, massive achievement.